What about the sort of Southgate situation now, John? Just coming back to you and your piece, he said, I have no idea where we'll be in the middle of July, other than I hope it's Trafalgar Square. Let's get the party on. Four Lions. I think who knows where Gareth Southgate is gonna head after this. But where do you think this story is moving? Because the mood music around Gareth Southgate and his England future was very, very different 12 months ago. And now, whether it's to do with, this squad of players, with Jude Bellingham, etc., that the fact that England are very, very sort of strong candidates for the title in Germany, it does seem like this is still, a very ripe talking point, and, he could well stay much longer.
Yeah, look, make no mistake about it. The FA, England, want to give Gareth Southgate a new contract. His current deal runs out in December. I think he's done a fabulous job. I think he's been England's best manager for absolute generations, absolutely fabulous. But the one thing is, obviously, he needs the trophy to go with it. And I think his contract is a handover period after the Euros, so his contract doesn't expire until December. So that does give a convenient sort of kind of passage of time. Who on earth would want to hand over the best generation of kids that England have had for so many years? I mean, absolutely fabulous opportunity. And just my take on it is that Gareth Southgate, I think, will stay on and take the team to the World Cup if England win the Euros, or if it's kind of glorious failure or whatever, if you like. But I think if they have an outstanding Euros, then I think personally he signs a new contract and he stays on. He doesn't want to make that public, clearly. He doesn't want to kind of issue any statements that kind of almost prove to be a distraction, I think, for the Euros campaign. But they've got an incredible generation of talent. I really do think so. And I think he'd find it very, very difficult at this stage to walk away. So I do think there's a kind of a willingness on both sides, and it's softened a little bit lately. But make no mistake about it, he is so popular amongst the FA staff and amongst the sort of FA hierarchy, if you like. So if you gave them their wish, of course they'd want him to stay and sign a new contract. England fans have got to remember the dark place from where England were when he took over, and put that into context. England have got a great opportunity to win the Euros, take the 3 Lions to the 4 Lions at Trafalgar Square, as he was joking, and just enjoy it. Maybe they can sort of kind of toast a glorious success this summer. I certainly hope so.
But how much does it depend, Jonathan, on how England do? I mean, yes, the FA might ultimately want this outcome of him to stay. Would it be a little bit premature to jump before then? This is the big chance, isn't it? You think about the golden generation, you think about 2004, 2006 particularly. But this one now feels like it's the right squad at the right time. Maybe even, ironically, in the right kind of tournament venue, country, to deliver that major trophy, that major title that England have been waiting for such a long time. If you are the FA, wait or try and do it now? What do you think? It has to be dependent on the summer and the outcome of that tournament?
No, I actually think it doesn't. I actually don't think it does depend, or it should depend on how England do this summer. I think he should go regardless. I think there is a natural... by the way, I think it's great that the staff at the FA love him. That's fantastic. Well done, Gareth. I just think that there is a massive chance at the end of this tournament cycle, which has been a compressed tournament cycle because of the 3 tournaments in 3 years, to whether England win or whether England lose, to reset this team, to reset the relationship between this team and the public and the fans, who I think, the broad swathe of public opinion is kind of not really loving Gareth Southgate, and I think there comes a point where he's been in the job for 8 years. I don't think people love his style of play. I don't think people love him as a guy anymore. I think people do remember where what he's done and where they brought him. But I think all things come to an end. There is a chance to reset the relationship with this team and kick on with a new coach with new ideas, and just kind of fresh energy. I've gone into on record saying that I thought Southgate should have gone after the Qatar World Cup for his own sanity. I think he should go after Euro 2024 for ours.
But John, I mean, if you look at the squad that he's picked, and you have players like Jared Branthwaite, Anthony Gordon, who are in this squad, Southgate is maligned a lot for just having favourites. But if you look at this squad, compared to some, 2 years ago, there is, always an influx of fresh blood. does that maybe back his case to stay because he's the person who can ensure the continuity in amongst the flux of new faces?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, that is exactly the point before the question. That's what prefaced the question, if you like, really. You've got this incredible generation. Why would you give it up? I mean, Kobe Minu basically is absolutely sensational form, and what a talent he's going to be. And yet he's going to be in the under-21s because the competition is so fierce for the sort of the seniors right now. Why would you give that up? I think Jude Bellingham is going to be the best player in the world, if he's not already, to be honest. And I just think, again, why would you kind of hand over the keys? Let's be very clear here. It's Gareth Southgate saying, I don't want to talk about my future. I'm not going to kind of carry on talking about this right throughout the summer. And I'm basically put those talks on hold. I don't want to entertain it until after the summer, until after the Euros. So that, honestly, I'll take him at his word. I don't think that's going to happen. But I do think that basically we are in a situation where I think, I don't know, a few months ago, I would have said, yeah, absolutely odds on that he'll leave. I think that's softened. I still think it's 50-50. So by no means is it a certainty. And I think it will depend on what happens in the summer. But those talks simply will not happen until after the Euros, in my view.